Hi everyone, welcome to the Simple Budget tutorial. When you receive your PDF download from Etsy, you will see a link that says go to Google Sheets. You will click that link and it will lead you to this page right here. The first thing you will do is make a copy, and it will take you to a copy of the Simple Budget template. The first tab in the Simple Budget template is a README tab. It gives you a little bit of information about what each cell is for. There is an instructions tab, a sample data tab, and the My Budget tab. This will be the tab that you enter in all your information. In the instructions tab, all the boxes that are highlighted red will be the cells that you input your information. Any cell that's not highlighted in red has formulas and ranges in them that help the spreadsheet work. So we won't be touching any of these areas. So let's jump into the template. The first thing you'll want to do is give your budget a name. Let's call ours Rainy Day. And then you'll want to go ahead and choose the budget period for which you are going to budget. I typically use a monthly budget, so I'm going to go from January 1st to January 31st. These cells here, you can input the date as such, or you can double click on any of the date cells and a current calendar will pop up and you can select the dates. There's nothing to do in this section here or this section here. These two areas are set to calculate based on the information you put in these empty sections here. So let's go ahead and fill out your income lines. What I suggest you do to begin is fill out the categories in each individual section, and then later on come back and put in your budget numbers. I will show you why after we have this all filled out. So I'm going to enter in all the sources of income I am anticipating for the month. And what else? Side hustle income and interest and government. Okay. In the next section, you want to fill out any of your bills. For bills, people typically put rent, electricity, heat, water, internet, mobile phone. For expenses, this is where I typically like to list out groceries, gas, blessings, and so forth. I'll go ahead and fill those out, and I will come back when I am done. With the expenses, I list out things that I typically go through in a month. I will have categories in here that I don't necessarily spend money on every single month, but it is there for future months. And I'll show you how I use this budget template for multiple months, because you do see that it is for one budget period and it's only one tab. I will show you how to create multiple tabs. from January to February, from February to March, and so on. Okay, the next section we need to fill out is the subscriptions. I'm going to put Netflix. The next section is debts. Let's say you have a car loan, or you financed a garden tractor or a snow blower. Okay. And then in savings, this is where I like to list off insurance sinking fund, doggy sinking fund. One thing you want to be mindful of is, you'll see here in savings, I have a doggy sinking fund, but in expenses, I also have a doggy line. With this spreadsheet, each category name has to be different from section to section. So I can't put doggy in expenses and then doggy in savings. I will show you why when we get into the transactions section. So make sure that each category name is different from section to section. Okay, I'll go ahead and fill these out and I will come back. Once you have all your sections filled out, the debts, the savings, the subscriptions, the expenses, the bills, and the income, what I suggest you do, you go ahead and you duplicate this sheet. Now, what that's going to allow you to do is keep this template here. You'll notice it has a lock beside my budget. The My Budget tab is protected. So in the event that you want to edit a cell that's not supposed to be edited, you will get a warning sign. So it prevents you from accidentally changing any of the equations in the sections that you're not supposed to touch. So for example, this cell right here has a formula. If I were to accidentally put in a number and press enter, I'm going to get a warning sign saying that I'm trying to edit part of the sheet that shouldn't be changed accidentally. I'm gonna go ahead and say cancel. That way it warns me when I'm about to do something that I'm not supposed to do. So by duplicating this tab, you're able to keep the sheet preserved with all its original formulations, if that makes sense. So you can go ahead and name this new tab, and you'll see where I'm going with this, January 2025. Now, this tab will not be protected. You'll notice that it doesn't have a lock here. So there is a possibility of accidentally changing these formulations without knowing. So if I accidentally come in here and I change this to 56, it'll come up with an error. If that does happen, you can go ahead and click the undo button here and it'll save you. If not, if you've gotten too far along and everything is messed up and you can't figure out where the problem is, you can go back to your My Budget template. You can go ahead and click the cell that you made a mistake on, copy the formulation, and paste it back into the formulation here. So that'll save you if you ever make a mistake. Now, what I suggest you do is go ahead and fill out the budget lines. I will go and do that, and I will come back and I will show you how to track your transactions. Okay, so I filled out all the categories. If you've done this and you feel that your month-to-month expenses from January to February to March, April are typically going to be the same, you can go ahead and duplicate this sheet. By duplicating this sheet, you can start to compile individual sheets for the entirety of the year. So that way, once you've finished filling out January's budget, you can keep it to reflect back on to see how each month progresses. Okay, let's show you how the budget comes alive. We're gonna go down to the transactions and we're gonna start inputting information. Let's say January 1st, we got our first paycheck. I'm gonna say we received $14.23 for the week, and that's going to be paycheck 1. So you will notice that this category automatically populated. That's because when I selected paycheck from the drop down, it knew what category it was coming from, and now it's done its calculation. So we'll go up to income. You'll see that we budgeted $1,400 for paycheck 1, but it came in at $14.23. Okay, so let's go ahead and put in another transaction. So on the 2nd, we went grocery shopping, let's say, and we spent $159. We're going to bring down the drop-down menu, find groceries, and then the expense category auto-populates for you. I'm gonna go ahead and put in multiple transactions here. So once you have a few transactions in your spreadsheet, you'll notice that the charts start to come to life. At the end of the month, when you've closed out your budget, you will see the spending overview. This spending overview breaks down the sections of your budget that you have spent your money on. So for example, right now, according to the current transactions that I've put into my spreadsheet, 79% of my budget has gone to expenses. 5.4% has gone to subscriptions, and 15.6% has gone to debts. At the end of the month, when you've filled in all your transactions, these should be close to each other, depending on how well you've budgeted your anticipated income versus your real income. One more chart we have here is where your money goes. So every single category line item is going to be reflected in this chart. So you'll be able to see exactly where the biggest chunk of your money goes. If you have any questions regarding the spreadsheet, please feel free to contact me. I am available on Etsy. You send me an Etsy message and I will help you with whatever I can in regards to the spreadsheet. I hope that this spreadsheet helps you track your expenses. It helps you save for some big purchase or just get your life in order or make you feel more in control of your money. Thank you. And if you like the spreadsheet, please feel free to leave me a review on Etsy. I would love to hear your experience. I'd love to hear how this spreadsheet has helped you, how it has affected your life. Please share your stories with me. I'd love to hear it. And if there's any way I could help, please let me know. Thanks. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful experience with this spreadsheet.